YouTube, it's your boy Detroit Love with another video. Hey man, welcome to this live special broadcast from Detroit Love. Just talking about the Wonderland launch of their Kickstarter program today. It kicked off at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and boy, was it a frenzy. It was out of control. Within less than 2 minutes, the White Rabbit edition, the cheapest version that you could get, was sold out. I was in there. I had a staff member come to me and had a problem with the printer. And I'm like, really? Right at noon? And so by the time I assisted them with that, I think it was like 180. It said 180 were still free, but all of those were queued up in somebody's cart. And so I did not have an opportunity to get the lower cost. So it was crazy. Let me say hello to the gang that's here in the chat. I did see a few people there. Jason Little Alien, our moderator, always, no matter who's live, he finds them and he comes and lends his support, man. Always a pleasure to have you. Always appreciate your assistance with these things. We got Jason Little Alien here. We got Carl O in the house. What's going on? A name like Carl, I already know. It's the name you love to yell. I tell people it's the 4-letter word you love to yell. And they always looking for us, Carls. What's going on, King Ed? Wingo's in the house. Thumper Squid's here. What's going on in the line? Hello, everyone. Who else we got? James hates everything. Man, thanks, man. Trying to grow. I let it grow out. You saw it was wild for a week or two, and so they can sculpt it. So my wife loves it. And what else we got here? Who else we got? Carl. Oh, we already said. So yeah. So I got everybody that's showed up so far. So yeah, man. So noon, I had my alarm set for noon. I was all ready to go, and I jumped on. Like I said, the staff person came in, had the problem with the printer right outside my door. I assisted them. I got maybe like 12:10 by the time I got that resolved, and they were locked up. It would show that they had some available. When you click it and you go through all the credit card thing, do all that, and say, hey, that is not available. So it kept giving me this message. Bad news. Look like your pledge to Wonderland is not available. So, and I thought maybe it was because I was getting some extras, so I tried to do it without the extras. No deal. They were well over 200,000. So those 200, because their goal was $100,000. Let me just put that up here. I believe I have this here. No, not that one. Their pledge was $100,000, and that $100,000 went, like I said, less than 2 minutes. It's been growing since I've been on here. I think it was like 388 backers when I first came on. So people are getting off work and realizing that this live and jumping in there. So I think I titled this "Why I Backed the Alice Goes to Wonderland." Someone on my group, and so I did start a Wonderland Amusement Pinball Club that is available on Facebook. I'll put the links in the show. Links. Maybe I can just do it right here. And so got a spot for people to come that's interested in talking about it. As we build up our excitement to this, because it's exciting and it's scary, right? It's exciting and it's scary because, one, they haven't taken any money, so it's not scary yet, right? It's not scary. It's just exciting at this point in time. No need to fear. You can always cancel. You can always change your bid. If you was going to get 2 and now you want to get 1, whatever the case is, you have some options up until April 10th, I believe it is. Where is my note? April 10th. What this thing is doing? Stop. Why is Teams up? So you have an opportunity to pull out if you're not. April 10th, yes, at 11:57 a.m. You have an opportunity to pull out, cancel. So on April 10th, they take the money. Okay, so it's really nothing to be scared about this time. Now, once they take the money, now we just have to hope and pray that everything goes smooth to production. And so I titled this, why did I decide to pledge? Now, I have a lot of people, and someone said it when they came in here, they said, I'm going to wait until the next pinball convention where they'll have more gameplay. Be Kong is going to be going to that. But with a Kickstarter is risk and hopefully reward, right? There's no reward without a risk. So someone has to take the risk in order for it to come to market. And that's just the premise of the website. And so, but only a few. So right now at the current state, there's way more people needed than what it takes. You know, what they thought it took to get this project launched. So right now it's four times the number of people needed for this project to be successful. So while there's people with caution, there's a lot of interest and a lot of people who aren't waiting to see more gameplay, not waiting to see. And again, the benefit of going in early is you save some money from the retail manufacturer retail price, right? So that's the reward. And again, if no one pledges, then it never comes to market, or it limits the chance of it coming to market. So they need us and we need them is a win-win if it comes to market. So that's the first step. One first step, obviously, you have to have an idea. You have to sell people on the idea. Step 2. Step 3 is get people to pledge into that. And then step 4 is to take the money. And then 5, bring the product. So that's where we're looking to get to that 5th step. So you have to be willing to take the risk in order for the gain to come. So this is what Wonderland has told us is their goals, right? They're saying they want a pinball that is affordable, compact, and full of fun, right? So they've, at least with the Kickstarter, they're making it even more affordable. And so the goal is that launch that is under $1,000. So affordable, check. We can check that box. Compact, 80%. A lot of people are in different camps, right? Some people say, I only want full size pinball. I only want full size arcade. Some people say, I can mix the two. You know, if it's something I like, I don't have to exist. I don't have to like Apple or Android. I could like Apple and Android, right? You can like what you like, and if it's a good product, you want to support it. And then there's some people like me that says, I don't want full size of anything. Yeah, would I love to have a Tekken full size, or love to have a Donkey Kong full size, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary. It's not necessary for me to have a 40-year-old machine that I have to pay as much money for, so that it brings less of its 40 years of age and funk and all the other stuff that comes with that age, right? Wear and tear and all that stuff. It would have to be pristine shape for me to want to get it, because I'd rather buy something that's a little smaller, that's newer, right? So the size doesn't matter to me, as long as I can enjoy and have fun with it. That's what she said. So that's where I'm at. I love the three-quarter scale size. I'm 5'7", and so I don't have the same struggles that people at 6 feet, 6'2", those people have. So I don't have to worry about that. These 3/4 are perfect size for me and my height. They're perfect size for the space that I want to dedicate to it. Though I will have to give up something. I have not given up anything yet. I will have to give up something to get this in here. So what am I going to do? So I am planning to I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking of doing. So as most of you guys know, I have a toy shock. I have a toy shock that's modified, and the toy shock has a PC in it, and I love that toy shock. Now I didn't go with any of the well-known people for the graphic artists for the decals on the side. I went with somebody that I didn't know much about, and it looked fantastic for a short amount of time, and then it doesn't look so well today. But I like the size of it, and I like to play. So the way I have it set up, I hadn't really had any urge to add new tables. I don't need any packs and all that stuff. I like it the way it is. So my plan is to take the guts out of that and put it into my at games. Because I've wrestled with at games. Do I want to keep at games, my ALP, to a point where I can go have it both ways, right? I can switch over from VPX, or I can switch back to stock. But what I've learned in I don't know how many years I've had this ALP, several years, 3, 4 years maybe. I've learned that I have zero interest in the stock games. None of the new packs that I've purchased, it's just my brain already knows better. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, like when you know better, you can't go backwards. And so and I have the ability to play the better ones. So if you have the ALP and you're enjoying it, that's fantastic. If you have other real pinballs or other VPX machines and your ALP still fits a niche for you, perfect. But for me, I seldom ever play the ALP. I turn it on every now and then because I just feel guilty that I paid money for this thing and I'm not turning it on. So I'll turn it on, I'll play, and it just irritates me. I got to log into it. Why do I have to log into it? I've never logged out of it. Why you keep logging me out of it? It's just ridiculous. And then you get past that, the music in the tables is just, and the floatiness of the ball, I can't do it. So I wrestle with just keeping it just so in case it gets better. It's not. They moved on to the 4K, and they're kind of trickling things out for the ALP. So I am going to move my PC components from the toy shop and I might be able to get the toy shop back playable with the stock equipment because I have all that. And maybe I can get that to a position where I can sell it for $100 or something crazy and get some money out of it, but it may not even be worth the effort. So I put everything in my ALP, and then I could put this new Wonderland 80% scale one into the place where the toy shock is. And so I'll have the best of the two worlds. I can have my VPX 300 plus tables of VPX that I can play and enjoy, FX3, all those things on the bigger ALP monitor play field. And so that'd be great there. Because I've wrestled with put my computer on it, but my computer, I use it for way too many things. So I really need a dedicated PC for the VPX in the ALP. And then I can have my mechanical real pinball from Wonderland. So I am definitely wanting them to be successful, wanting to go to market. Otherwise, I wouldn't have backed them today. And I see Billy Woods Mods has backed them today as well. Yeah, the pup packs, I'm sure they're great. And one day I'll get to them, but I don't have to have them. I know they have the easy to install, the baller installer, things like that makes all that stuff easier now than what I did to get mine going. But so that's my plan. And some plans are always subject to change, right? But that's the plan that I look to do. So I'll still have 2 pinballs, uh, the ALP modified to a VPX machine, my Wonderland, and then of course I'll have my Supernova from Stellar Pinball as a tabletop. So that's where I'm at with that. So I'm sure you guys have seen the videos that they had on the Kickstarter page. Had a little bit of game play that they had there, not a whole lot. It was just like a maybe 2-minute video that they showed. Not even 2 minutes, like 1 minute and 20 seconds. So this thing is shorter, it is smaller. I always look at this thing, this American Girl has this little pinball. Someone was selling one on Facebook Marketplace near me for $100, $150. I think they were asking $150. I would try to talk them down to $100 or so. And it's a little one of the old school with just the bells and the digital score. And the people that own that really, really enjoy that. And that's just I think it's a quarter scale. It's a quarter scale. Somebody said 1/6 scale, but it looked awfully big. I think it's a quarter scale. Yeah, so American Girl, they have a few little things like that. They have to, like James everything mentions this Pac-Man they have, but they also have this pinball table. The pinball table looks a lot of fun. So if the American Girl pinball can be fun with just a couple of bumpers and spinners and all that, whatever these guys come up should be fun. But I'm hoping this thing is a lot of fun, because that's what their third thing was, to make this table fun. So they made it affordable, they made it scaled down, and they promised to make it fun. So I am hoping this table is fun. Worst case scenario, I can convert it to another VPX. But yeah, so I'm excited. Guys. I don't know if you guys can tell. I wasn't certain if I was going to back it until today. And it's at a price that the only other thing I purchased for $1,000 here in my game room. Now I have many things in here that cost more than $1,000 as I built and added to, but it didn't cost $1,000 out the gate, if that makes sense, right? But I have my Killer Instinct right behind me that was $1,000. But I look at all the other things that I do. Now, one of my staff workers were talking about over and under, and they were talking about gambling. And I was like, don't ask me about gambling, because I do not gamble. I have way too many things I want to do with my money. So I have zero interest in giving it to someone else, right? Because gambling is designed for others to make money at your expense, under the guise of you possibly winning. And they'll give you enough just to get you hooked. But I never lack in something that I want to purchase, right? So my money is always on the pathway out to get something that comes back into me. And so that's where I gamble, right? I gamble with products. I gamble with things that I like. I'm not a collector. I don't buy things to put on the shelf and never open. Everything I buy, I open immediately. I use it immediately. I enjoy it immediately. And it's very, very rare for me to sell something. Very, very rare for me to sell something. So in a sense, I collect, because I seldom ever give up anything that I've purchased. So I have a box full of phones that I've had over the years, Palm Pilots, Casio Bosses, all kinds of things, computers, laptops, tablets, I have boxes behind the wall of the curtain, behind curtain number 1. Just boxes and boxes of gadgets that have seen better days, but will have some value in the future. But I didn't buy them for them to appreciate in the future. I bought them so that I could appreciate them immediately. And so that's the way I live. And I have this talk with my wife as well, because sometimes she'll talk about things with the house and she'll say, well, it'll make it better to when we resell it. And that's not an argument to get me to do something, because I have no interest in buying something for someone else to enjoy, if that makes sense. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't buy anything for someone else to enjoy later. I buy things for me to enjoy now, and if by chance I sell it in the future and someone else is able to enjoy it, that's a secondary benefit of that product, not the primary reason for me to purchase. So let me take a look at some of these comments. Mr. Big Daddy Cool, if you ever update your toy shop to 10.8 GL and run the 3D mode, you won't ever need a real pinball. Love my VPN full size, feels 98% like the real thing. Yeah, I absolutely don't have any issue with VPX. And I know I can get all kinds of toys. Now I may do the experiment that get the running lights and LEDs and all these things that interact with it, that can make it, fun, even more fun. But I enjoy VPX. My toy shop is the most played game cabinet in my arcade, and I enjoy it. I'll turn it on, play for 10 minutes some days, an hour some days, but it's seldom that I get through the week without playing some type of pinball. And I seldom ever play FX3, which I do have tables on it. I typically don't play it because I can play FX3 on other things, and so I've been playing FX3 more on my ALP via my Switch. So I actually got a little 3D printed tray that it mounts in. So because my Switch, I've only used my Switch one time on the TV. One time, did not like it, and so my Switch is primarily used as a handheld. And so if I'm going to dock it, I have it docked at the ALP, and then that gives me a reason to turn on the ALP in place of FX3. So I definitely enjoy that. Thor says, man, I don't know what is blocking this. Oh, let me just turn this off. So James Hates Everything says the American Pac-Man is a numbskull, quarter scale arcade. Different splash screen will start up with slightly different packaging, but is otherwise same as the other numbskulls. I have a Pac-Man numbskull, and I love that. It did have a fall and got a little damage, but still functions well. I can actually repair that with some wood glue, but I hadn't had any need to do that. But I will. It's a piece of the wood on the top. It fell off, and I still have that saved, so I'll fix that at some point in time. Billy Woods says, looking forward to Stellar Pinball coming back to stock. It should be in stock this week. So I don't know if you guys know, I did start a Facebook group for that as well, for the Stellar Pinball. And so these guys keep me abreast of what's going on. So I will update as soon as they let me know. So if you hadn't joined the group, make sure you join the Stellar Pinball group on Facebook. But they said the end of this week they should have some. They didn't give me a number, but once he has that number, he'll let me know, and that way people they have a waiting list. So if you didn't sign up for their waiting list, you want to do that as well. You want as many bales to go off if it's something you want to get, because they will sell out immediately. And these are they're 3D printed and hand put together, hand assembled. So it's going to take a couple of weeks, a month for them to get a new batch. And they have an idea of how many people want them because people are, did their waiting list. But everybody signs up for a waiting list is not going to do it. So I'm sure they do some type of calculation. 50 people said they are interested, and we might make 40, right? Because everybody's not going to, act on what they said they would. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. I just want to hang out with you guys for a little bit. I do have a couple of projects upstairs. My wife bought this arbor for our garden. So as most of you guys know, wintertime is my most active video producing time. And now spring is coming. And so I'm going to transition over into gardener mode. And so we'll start doing that. Me and my wife, last year was our greatest harvest ever. We literally had produce coming out of the garden from May through October. And so we didn't have to buy a lot of produce from the stores. So that was fantastic. As you guys know, the price in supermarkets are ridiculous for everything. And so we grew a lot of produce in our garden this year. We would love to have some chickens, but our HOA doesn't allow that. But we have some people that do raise chickens and have goats. They do use that for milk and eggs and meat, and quail, and all kinds of stuff. But I would love to do that. I've never processed a bird or slaughtered a chicken for it, but there's nothing keeping me from doing it. I just have never done it. But if I could be in total control of most of the things I consume, I definitely would do that. But the produce, man, we produce everything: corn, beets, all the greens, lettuce, spinach, kale, collard greens, everything, man. Carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, blueberries, strawberries, some stuff I had never even heard of before, and for example, like beets. Most people who have eaten beets, they eat beets like from a can or a jar, like pickled, and that's horrible. They've never tasted fresh from the ground beets, and they are absolutely delicious. And it's 3-4 different types of beets. Most people just only know about the red beets, but there's different color beets that are absolutely delicious. So we'll be transitioning over to that mode. Then I'll transition to my running and cycling mode as we get into the summer. So it'll definitely be less and less videos as it gets warmer and warmer here in Michigan. But obviously this pinball is going to come out at some point in time, and so I'm definitely going to update you guys on that, regardless of what I'm doing. Just not get some sleep. Yeah, you guys. Thanks, Billy. Make sure you guys thumb up, and remember, guys, I have this Zotar. I have this Zotar machine that I'm just waiting to give to someone when I hit 6,000 things. So you guys can help. You guys are already subscribed. But share the channel on some of the groups that you guys are in. Encourage the people to join, and because the sooner we get to 6,000, you or somebody if you have your friends sign up that's in different groups, I'm ready to give this thing away. But I need you guys to share the group. So hit the share button, man. Share on Facebook, whatever you like. If there's a particular video you like, share that video and say, hey, by the way, subscribe to this guy. He's got a Zotar machine from New Wave Toys that he wants to give to you guys. Do that. And I want to give this away. I don't want it sitting here collecting dust under my table behind me. So I have it here. There's always something sitting on it. But you see, I have my Zotar here. But I have one in the box. just waiting to put your name on it. Okay. And once we get to 6,000, I want to do, I don't want to have to chase somebody down, right? It'll be 6,000 subscribers. I'm not going to, I'm going to do it where you have to be online or something and do a keyword. So that way we know who gets it right away. I don't want to have to sit and try to contact somebody and go through all that. I'll announce once we get to 6,000, we'll announce the date that we're going to do it. Let all the subscribers know. I'll push out the at everybody thing and post it on my thing, up into it, and let everybody know. Come on to the live video. We'll make it short and sweet. Thank you guys for subscribing, and then someone in that live broadcast will win it. And I'll get the contact information, and I'll put a stamp on it that day, depending on what time it is, or next day, and the winner just pay for postage wherever it's going to. I'm assuming it's going to be USA, maybe Canada, and we'll call it a day. Thank you, King Ed AV. Appreciate you subscribing. Oh yeah, we definitely had green beans, cantaloupe. We didn't do honeydew, but we did cantaloupe, green beans, string beans, sweet peas. Man, we had so much stuff. Celery. We just made some soup the other day from the celery we pulled out and froze, and it tastes just like it came out the ground yesterday. Just bought a new freezer, one of those stand-up freezers with all the drawers in it for the garage, ready fridge, freezer. That way we can access things, mark them, label things, and be a little more efficient. I've never liked those deep chest freezers because whatever's on the bottom never gets used, right? Because you just keep piling stuff on top. And my wife never lets that freezer be 90% full. My wife's freezer can never be a Wonderland Pinball. She can't deal with 80%. It has to be 100% full for her to like it. You literally have to sit on this freezer to close it. And I think what I'm gonna do is because she's wanting. I thought she was gonna get rid of that chest when we got this stand-up one, and now she's talking about she want to just use this for garden stuff and keep the chest one. So I think I'm just gonna buy another freezer stand-up, open door thing with the drawers, and just get rid of that chest because I can't stand that thing. That thing's probably 30 years old as it is. So Wingo said he just bought one for the garden. That thing's great. It was at Costco, I think, for $2.99, 11 cubic feet. It's really nice. I think it's like 6 separate drawers in there. The bottom one being a freezer, deep freeze, or where you do your ice trays and things like that. But yeah, I am excited for that. I think I might just go get another one before they go up on the price, and just have 2 out there. So I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Most of you guys already know about the what Wonderland is. So I talk about. I just wanted to come on here and just talk about my excitement that I did decide to go with it. I decided to go with it because I wanted to come to market. They didn't need me, obviously, right? They didn't need me for that to happen. But I want a real mechanical pinball. I want the headache that's going to bring, right? When you are home arcade owner, it comes with its difficulties, right? There's going to be some downtime on some machines. Something's going to not work, and that's why you want more than one machine. You can't just have one multi-cade that tries to do everything, because when that thing is down, then you have nothing to play, right? So you definitely have to have what's going on, P-Dubs? You definitely have to have have multiple things in your game room. And you got to do things you love. Again, I have an iArcade in my arcade because they had Kickstarter program, and I wanted them to be successful. It didn't turn out that way for them, but it was successful enough that many people have and enjoy the cabinet in their homes. I still have a purpose for it. I will mod it at one point in time, but I hadn't today. But I use it as a boom box quite often, and it's blast of music when people are over. But I put on like that. It has that water ski game that everyone loves that when they play it. So if I never played any other game than that on there, that game gets lots of play, and people don't even know that it plays anything else because I put it on that game when people come, because I know it's a game that people enjoy. It's right next to my Star Wars. Star Wars has the buy stuff store mod on it. I don't know if you guys see my video on that. I modded it with the 3D pieces that make the trim. The Star Wars has on the bezel, it has a flat 2D representation of the 3D bezel, and so I have a 3D bezel that goes around that. I have a coin door that I'm going to be putting on from Retro 530, I believe it is, right? So I'll be putting a coin door on that Star Wars cabinet. I did my first ever 3D printing. I don't know if you guys have I've purchased, like you guys, you purchase things from 3D printers, but I printed my first item myself. I don't have a 3D printer. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but most of the libraries today have 3D printers there, and you can go onto websites like Maker of Things and a bunch of different websites and find items that can be useful in your life, and you can just print them. You can just send them to your library, and they'll print them. And so I had a Yoda. Let me grab it real quick here. Right on top of my ALP. So I had this Yoda. Let me switch back to the main. So I had this little Yoda guy printed, 3D printed at my local library. And depending on how the person who provides the STL file provides it, they actually provided it with all the pieces as separate images. So I could dictate, I want the eyes black, I want Yoda himself, his hands green, I want his robe brown, I want the base beige, right? Could have made that black or whatever. And so, and I didn't realize they even made the his fingernails, I think they're clear. And I didn't put those in there because I'm gonna have to use like a magnifying glass or something and some tweezers. And luckily my New Wave Toys refrigerator came with some tweezers, so I'll have to glue those fingernails on, because otherwise you would see the holes. I don't know if you can see it there. You would see the holes in his fingertips without the nails. So I got to put those nails in. I didn't realize they were separate as well, but that's pretty cool. So if you guys haven't never done anything, I think this costs $13. $13. They just charge you for whatever filament it takes to print whatever you're printing at the library. So definitely check out your local library. Libraries always have to innovate to stay relevant, because books, a lot of people aren't reading books. They're reading digital books and doing all kinds of things. But they have music and videos and they have 3D printers. So keep that in mind. If you have some things that you may be interested in printing. Adam, what's up, Adam? Welcome to the live. So I'm still very curious how the code rules animation turns out. That sort of thing will make or break the fun aspect of the machine. Absolutely, and they haven't shown any of that. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I've talked about this with the tables that I really enjoy, like Spider-Man. What's the Western one? P-Dubs fell in love with the Western one. What is it? Howdy Partner, the Deputy one. I can never remember what it is, but that table is just so much fun. What's going on, Twisted Gaming TV? The pinball tables, the music, the ramping up of use those ramps to get the ramp up the music and the timings and the lights. Everything has to come together perfectly for it to be fun. I will not get any joy out of just hitting things just to get points, right? I want to be able to follow a storyline. And I don't know if you guys ever play Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of my favorite. AC/DC, it doesn't have quite the same type of connection that Spider-Man does, and the other table that's escaping me. I know they have a reloaded version that's new. Oh, I can't think of what the heck it is. AP Dubs, if you remember what the table we played in Cleveland is called, with the Western theme. But anyway, those two tables have, and there's other tables similar to those. They have really great use of the DMD, very good use of the music, very good of the call outs. Like in Spider-Man, you have all the different characters, shouting out. You have the Daily Bugle owner, Cactus Canyon. Thank you, Big Cactus Canyon, Mr. Big Daddy Cool. Yeah, Cactus Canyon is a lot of fun. You've never played that, use that pinball site and find one near you, because that is a lot of fun. They have is it Jersey Jack? Someone redid that Cactus Canyon, and they've made it even better. But even the old school one is a lot of fun. The multi-balls are fun. The pop-up targets where the gunslingers, they pop up and you have to hit those targets wherever they pop up. So all those aspects of it makes it fun. So Adam is absolutely correct. It's going to make a break whether the rules, the animation, the music, comes together for this, and especially with a theme such as Alice in Wonderland, where it follows a story, right? The game has to make you part of the story. It has to take you on an adventure. I mean, it's in the name. If Alice goes to Wonderland, what the heck did she go there for? For out of curiosity, she got there and she went on quite an adventure. And so we are definitely looking. They've already got us curious. They've got a lot of us to jump down the rabbit hole. So let's move this. So you see here. So a lot of us today ran and followed the white rabbit down. Most of the people captured the white rabbit, and they got their $7.99 pinball. I was not fortunate. I was backer number 805. But since like 1209, people had them all queued up. All 200 of the white rabbits were queued up. And so so I ended up as backer 204, 205, something like that. And I ended up with, I did get the sculpt add-on. Am I logged in here? Not on this particular page. But I went with the Mad Hatter's choice because I didn't have any other choice, and I was mad about it for certain. But I don't think they show the add-ons. But I got the sculpture package that gave you the 3 heads, so you don't have the flat, toys. You have an actual 3D toy. So Steve Sale, hey Steve, welcome to the live show, man. Always a pleasure to see you as well. So Chicago Gaming was the one that came out with the newer version of Cactus Canyon. But yeah, so a lot of people are waiting, and that's a good thing about it. Now that more than enough people, and let's just check on that because I'm sure more people have purchased or pledged since. Let's go back and see what that number is, because when I started this, it was at 386 backers, and it's at 397 backers now. So 397 backers now. So it's going to keep going through the night, but they've met their goal. So ideally, they have enough money for this to come to life. Hopefully, they give us some extra things now that they have well enough, because that's typically what Kickstarter projects do. They give you more. They have these goals that they set, like, hey, if we get to 500,000, then we'll add in, where the plunger looks like a key, because while I like the doorknob option, I would personally like for the plunger to be a key, right? So when you plunge the ball, so that's something that they can add as a bonus for meeting the next pledge level or something like that. So those are the type of things they have to be looking at now to see how they can encourage people to keep pledging beyond what was necessary for the goal to be met. And that's what they typically do. They'll give some motivation for people to continue to pledge, because that monetary amount will increase, and that'll give them more to work with. Obviously, the more they have to work with, they can give some of that back to us as early pledgers for helping them get a much larger pledge. Also, you did the pledge as well, Steve. Yeah, I passed on the topper as well, but the 3D sculpts are a must. I am definitely in the same camp as you with that. Steve, were you able to get the White Rabbit and then get your bundle on top of that, or did you get the Mad Hatter like I did? Let me know. But the topper, I feel that people are going to the third party market is going to do some much better things with the toppers. So for me, it did make sense to get that. Even if because now that I've wet my whistle with 3D printing, I am going to look at. I have always been very good at taking something and making it what I want it to be. It's rare that I'm going to build something totally fresh, my concept. I came up with the idea. I came up like these guys, coming up with the idea and then building it. I can come up with an idea, find somebody else that's already got me 75%, 80%, even 50% there, and then I can build upon that very easily. So that goes with programming, with modding and things like that. So that's where I excel, in taking an idea and making it better, or taking an idea where it was intended to be something else and making it what I wanted. So I can see myself learning the 3D design program just enough for me to take someone else's shared 3D pin topper, or pinball topper that was designed to be something similar to what I want, and then transforming that into something I actually want it to be. So that's where I see that I'll definitely look down that road. But in the meantime, I think other people are going to have those same ideas, same concept, and see I would do this for myself and show other people how to do the same. There will be other people that says, I don't know, I want to make money from this effort, and so I'll make these things and make them available. So that's what I'm anticipating with that, with the topper aspect. So there was no need for me to pay whatever price they offered that, because I think bigger and better things are going to come for this if this thing comes to market and continues to be successful. Yeah, so he's unable to, hey Cammy, not able to back it because of the venue being in Australia. It's always going to present an issue. So no White Rabbit for Steve either. Yep. So we already said that. Okay. So I think we're about at an hour. So this is about my limit here. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me on a Tuesday night. I appreciate that. Um, Again, Steve, you came in late. I did start a group on Facebook that is available for the Wonderland folks. So at the time, it was 33 members. Let's see if we got some more people in there. Yep, 39 members. So that's growing. Um, so I have that group started, and we can go, you can go in there and talk and share and talk about your joys. People come in there. People are in there talking about why they decided not to do it or they're holding off on it. So it's just a place for people to learn about the product, learn why people did choose to do it, why people are choosing not to do it, and just to have discussions about it. I am not going to man the door. It's on the instructions there, right? It says here at the top, no one is monitoring the door. You must use the key to get in this group. I asked two things: to say what the name of the pinball table is, and are you going to follow the rules? If you can't answer those two things, you're automatically going to get declined. So I'm not manually adding anybody to the group. You just like Alice. You want to get through the door, you got to do what's required. If you respond to those two things, you're in. If you leave something unresponded, there's no response necessary. You're not going to get in. So, but for the people that are willing to come in and talk about this, we have a place for that on Facebook. I appreciate you guys. I thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you like the video on your way out. Share the video with people you think are interested in the excitement of this, and pledging. And make sure you subscribe and share any video that you like from my channel with someone that you think are interested in that content, and then let them know. Go ahead and subscribe, because he's going to be giving out a Zotar, free Zotar, unopened, unboxed version of it. As soon as we hit 6,000 subscribers, I think we're like at 5,400, over 5,400. So the quicker you guys share and get other people to join, the quicker you are one of them, because you guys always show up to the live. So it's going to be somebody in the live from those 6,000 people, and it's going to be a subscriber only live program. So you're going to have to you're going to have to be a subscriber to comment, and the only way you can vote, do the required step to win it, is to be able to place a comment. So just keep that in mind. You're going to have to be a subscriber, and you're going to have to be a subscriber probably for longer than 5 minutes. I think that's how the thing goes. So subscribe now, get that thing out the way, and one of you guys are going to walk away with a new Zotar. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Until next time, I'll see you on the web.
Thanks for watching Detroit Love. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. We want to see and read your comments below. And until next time, I'll see you on the web.
Peace.